In this video, I'm going to walk you through the online air quality permitting portal. In order to do this, you need an internet browser such as Internet Explorer. You'll need an upgraded version of Internet Explorer or Firefox or Chrome. In order to get started, you need to go to the City of Chicago website at www.cityofchicago.org, and then in the left-hand side, click on Apply For, and after that, click on Air Pollution Control Permit. This link will get you to the location that will be available for all online permits. As you can see, there's some instructions here, and in order to proceed, click on the link that says to apply online. This might take a second for the page to load. As you can see, I have an older version of Internet Explorer, so I'm going to use Firefox to fill out my application. Firefox looks like this. I could also use Google Chrome and get the same results. So, in order to get started, you need to sign in with your current account if you have an account, or create a new one if you don't have an account already. I'm going to create a new account. Enter a valid email address and click Submit. As you can see, I'm going to get an email account verification that will guide me through the rest of the process. Once I get the email, I can click here to complete the account creation. If this link doesn't work, then I can copy and paste that into the browser. From here, I'm creating my new account. I've got to come up with a username and login. And note that all of these fields that have an asterisk, those are all required fields. So just about everything here is going to be required. So I'm going to create my new username. A security question. And then a password. And please note you're going to need to make the password complex. For the password itself, I need to come up with something that's a nice complex password. You're going to want to try to record this password somewhere because the passwords have to have a combination of characters and numbers that make it pretty complicated and hard to crack. And then you should have a password that's going to work out just fine. And I'm going to fill out the rest of this form. You can tell here is you can get prompted to some things that you need to do in order to make sure that it conforms to the right format. Add the hyphen. There we go. Enter all that information and then click Register. And there we are. My account has been created. So now it's time to sign in. And I can sign in here or where I just was on that other page. With my new username and my new password. Then click Sign In. Alright, and once you're in, you'll see that you have this orange bar up here, this permit button, and then you have to find out if you're going to be applying for a new one or finding an existing permit. And most of the people will end up finding an existing one because you're going to do an annual renewal. Alright, so if I'm doing an annual renewal, I'll probably see the permit up here, or I can click on Find Existing, click on Permit, and now it's time to search for the existing permit. And I should have gotten something from the city in an email or something along those lines that said in a letter or something like that that said what the number might have been. But a lot of them, or most of them, should start with ENVAIR. And so that's a type of number that I'll be getting, the type of number I'll be looking for. Click on Search. And when I find it, that means I can take a look and make sure I've got the right one I've got here. Now, if this wasn't my permit, but it really was supposed to be my permit, instead of saying go to permit here, I can click on it and I can say make this permit mine or make it yours. Only do that if this is really your permit. You may actually have actually searched and found one of these permits that's not yours. So take a look at this carefully and make sure you've got it figured out and make sure that's really yours. Then click on Go to Permit. And now I have an opportunity to update all the information. I'm going to want to do that. I'm going to want to make sure that the information on this application looks correct. So I can go through, I add myself as the property owner or add myself as the applicant. If I click on this area here, one thing that's important to note is that the property owner is actually the person that's in charge of the business. It's the business itself, not the owner of the building. So be sure and include that as the proper address. And you can add yourself as a property owner, add me, etc. So go through and make all the edits you need to make. Click on Next Step. And then you'll get from the Applicants tab to the Job Description tab. And as you can see, I've written in here just some basic high-level information. Click on the question mark to get a little bit of info about it. This is just going to say what type of work that's being done. At a high level, just a small little bit of information. Click on Next Step. And you'll go from the job description to the project details. One thing that's important to note here on the job details page, or the project details page at this first field here, and you can see there's a question mark that lets you look it up. You're only going to include this info here if this is a new application and you obtained a permit through the City of Chicago's Department of Buildings. In that case, they would have issued you a number, and that's where you put the number right here. Otherwise, you'll want to leave this blank. But here's where you add in a little bit more detail on the process itself. As you can tell, I typed in a little bit of information here, including the type of machine it's using. Next, you have to include the SIC code. That's a required field, and the NAICS code is optional, but if I know it, I can add it. Both of these here, both of these question mark pop-ups have a link to a lookup area, so a lookup website. So I'm going to click on that, and as you can tell, it's going to open up a new tab in Firefox, just like it would in Internet Explorer or Chrome. Back here was my application, but this other tab that opened up is where I can do a code lookup. So I'm just going to do a search on dry cleaning, hit search, and as you can see, the first one that comes up is the one I want, 7216, and that's the one I've got selected here from this long list, dry cleaning services. So I know that's right. I can do the same thing for the NAICS. Click here, a new tab opens up. I can do a search on dry cleaning. Alright, hit submit. The search comes up with a few items here. Let's say I think this is the one, 812320. So I go back to the application, and I found this one here, dry cleaning 812320. Alright, I'm in business. And now I can edit the different machines that are in play here. Let's say I've already updated this one here. Dry cleaning transfer. I'm going to edit and add this one. Let's say there's to fill out these some of these items are mandatory fields, some of them aren't. As you can tell, the ones that have an asterisk, those are required. Alright, the number of types of equipment. Let's say I know these are dry cleaning types. And alright, let's say I find that it's dry cleaning and hydrocarbon. If I know the manufacturer, I can put that in. But if I don't know who it is or the label's worn off, I can just write custom and leave it at that. Same goes for the model number. If I know it, I can add the model number and all these extra items. Maybe of all this stuff, I only know where the location's at. Let's say back room number 1. Alright, then just at the end, click Edit Equipment Information, and that info is going to be updated. Click on Next Step, and I've got a brief overview of the job itself. Everything looks like it's in order. Then I click Add to Cart, and then from Add to Cart, fill out all the payment information.